taking viewers inside your most recent collaboration with Judas Priest frontman Rob Halford. How long did you two work on this particular project before it was ready to hand in?
Rob Halford's quite unique in the books that I've done in that I really, really chased it hard for a long time, about 10 years, in fact. Nikki Sixx came out in 2007, I think, and did pretty well. And I thought, whoa, these metal guys have got some fantastic. I thought, who else in that world would have a great book? And Rob came straight to mind. And I think about 2008, I sent my first email to their manager saying, would Rob be interested? And I got politely batted away. And for 8 or 9 years, I was emailing every year or so, and they're saying he's not interested, he didn't want to do it. And then suddenly out of the blue, last year, I heard that he wanted to write his book. So I wrote again. And it was great timing. And I think, to be honest, Jake, the reason I got that book, there were two things. One was that he really liked the Heroin Diaries, and he liked the way that had worked. And the second was that he's from the same place as me. But we both come from this little town called Walsall. I had such a head start. I mean, I've done books with people who talk about the childhood, and I try and picture what it's like. With Rob, I knew the places, I knew the clubs, I knew the bars, I knew the town centre he was talking about. We had a kind of shorthand talking to each other because we knew all the same places, and that really helped. Really strongly opposed to doing his story for years, and then he just switched. I mean, he's 70 next year. He's 70 years old next year.
Wow.
He's got to the point where he thought, I do want to leave a legacy. I do want to leave my story behind. And suddenly he went from being completely opposed to it, he went just the opposite way. And he became just as keen and just enthusiastic about it. When I do that kind of book, I normally talk to the person for somewhere between about 12 and 16 hours, I would say.
Okay. In person? In person?
In person, always face to face, or sometimes via Zoom in the current circumstance. But with Rob, I did 42 hours. I went to he lives in Phoenix, Arizona, and I went there for a week, thinking I'd do most of the interviews, if not finish. And I came back, and I got to 1974. That was how we got, because he talks quite slowly. He talks in great detail. And a bit like Nicky, he wanted the whole story told. He wanted everything in there, completely candid. Again, I'm not going to give away too many spoilers here, but the 3 or 4 stories that he told me, I said, are you sure you want that in the book? He went, absolutely, absolutely. It's completely definite. I've seen 1 or 2 interviews since where he said that he's waiting for the book to come out, and he's thought, should he have said all those things that he did? But he's pleased that he did, I think. I will say this, Jack, it's a completely unforgettable book. I mean, it's the first one I've done since Nikki Sixx 12 years ago that makes my jaw fall open. I can read through it now, and I can get shocked at something. I've read it 15, 20 times now, and I wrote it. So it really is quite something.
As a music biographer myself, I understand how conscious we have to stay of the fact that this is the person's life story we're putting on paper. How does that weigh on you as you're writing?
Yeah, it's a fantastic incentive, really. It's a great incentive. I've just finished working with Cliff Richard, who was a massive star of it. Probably he didn't really crack the States, but here is enormous, massive pop star, about to turn 80 this year.
Wow.
And he started off as the English Elvis in 1958, and he's gone through everything you can imagine since then. 3rd best-selling artist in Britain ever after Elvis and the Beatles. Mm-hmm. And you just think, wow, what a privilege. What a privilege. And you just want to do the best job you can on it. And actually, and the higher, I find the higher the stakes are, the better I work, the more I get excited about it, the more I get pumped up, the more I want to get the definitive story out there. Sometimes in interviews, it means sometimes pushing the people. I mean, sometimes with Nikki Sixx and Rob Halford, they wanted to do the confessional thing and say everything. Some people are more private. Cliff Richard's a very private person, and I'd have to say, are you sure you want to talk about this side of things? And you might go, well, okay, a little bit. But basically, I have to get stressed that I'm always on the same page as them. I mean, they're probably used to journalists trying to stitch them up, journalists trying to get the big headline story and the scandal story. And I have to always say, well, look, I'm on your side, I'm your voice. And everything that even if you tell me something and change your mind, when I send you the chapter with that in, just put a red line through it. Just, and it comes out. You have the say, it's your name on the book. And once they get that point, they tend to relax a little bit more and be more open.